when you understand like what Snow White did for Walt Disney Studios and Walt Disney, they had a documentary where he talked about how he had to sell off properties and he put everything that he had up on mortgage and stuff because he said the Snow White film was either going to make or break the studios. And he also said that Walt Disney also said he had another job lined up if the movie bombed, that he was going to have to, because he was
Wow.
going to be in so much debt. And then when it came out, it was for its time period, it was like one of the first color films, and it just broke all kinds of records and barriers. And so the fact that these people turn their nose up to the properties that actually got them the jobs that they have now is pretty disgusting, that they don't even give the respect, because if that thing would have bombed, who knows what would have happened, and we wouldn't have this wonderful human being trashing the original, calling the prince a
Mhm.
stalker and everything else. So it's
Snow
it's
White.
kind of crazy. We
Snow.
see that with Star Wars and everything else.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. The disdain she has for it. And again, Jay's
Mhm.
100% right. Like, Snow White was a massively important film for its time and for the future of the Walt Disney Company. I think it won a bunch of awards back in the day, too, which was kind of unheard of for an animated film, if I'm not mistaken. It made such a big impact across the board. And for her just to sit there and be disrespectful about it, it kind of represents everything with these young actors that are taking over these properties and they don't have respect for it. It goes further than just that, though. They just don't have respect in general for pretty much anything.
Well, they
I'm
do
gonna
the
keep
same thing
roasting.
with Lucasfilm when these people come out that are working on projects and they just diss George Lucas. I
Yeah.
think that Leslie Forehead or whatever her name is, like she was talking about like it's time to move on from the George Lucas's thing and kind of adapt it for a modern day audience, something along those lines. And it's like, how could you even bring yourself to say that working on a Star Wars property, that you wouldn't even be working on a Star Wars property if it wasn't for George Lucas and his vision and what he put together? And it's just really, it's disgusting,
Leslie
and that's why
Head
these properties
Forehead.
suck. That's why they suck, and nobody cares.
These people, they all think that they live at the end of history, that nothing ever happened before
Yes.
before them, and that
Yes.
everything is
Yep.
irrelevant. And it's because they don't. So, we've talked about this before. They always prey on franchises of the past because they don't have any creativity on their own. So because they've never been able to create anything successful, the only thing they can do is basically take the things that exist and take them in spite and basically destroy them. And it's always about remaking them instead of respecting this and using it as an opportunity to possibly learn how to create their own universes in their own way. Like, hey, let me continue Star Wars. Let me make it awesome. Respect where it came from, Lucas's legacy, and really work on something here that I can be proud of. And then, either we can keep up working on this, or I can move on in the future, and I'll have the respect of an audience from a great franchise. But they don't want to do that. They want to just try to take everything and either put their own message in it or just destroy it, because you can almost swear that these people live, like Ryan said, they have a disdain for all of this. They hate it because they know that they can't do anything nearly even a quarter as good as what has existed in the past. So all they want to do is destroy what's there.
And they try to wrap it up and put a bow on it and put their little spin on it, and it all sucks. They either try to make them fat, gay, change white characters to black characters, and they just ruin the whole fucking thing.
The interesting thing with the Rachel Zegler shit is that it is not just, alt-right YouTubers are very angry about this. No, it's Disney fans are pissed off.
Yep.
And some Disney fans are a bunch of freaks. Jay knows that. But anyway, these Disney fans are fucking pissed because they have somebody who's just shit talking the original. And again, Rachel Zegler is very young. She's like 22 years old. And Disney, from some reports that are out there, that Disney knows it's a PR disaster for them, and that they need to do kind of like an emergency. Hey, we need to stop this and course correct and do damage control a year before the movie's even out, because they're seeing what it's doing, not just to people on our side of the internet that are upset about it. It's a lot of people all over the place that think Rachel Zegler is sticking her foot in her mouth.